cheating on my wife with 3 friends. They were trying to use me. I walked home late, as had become common over the past 6 months. I was a little curious as to what I was getting myself into, as I noticed there were 3 other cars parked in front of my house. Of course I recognized them. Ben, George, and Jack had been my best friends for years. Heck, I'd driven their cars hundreds of times. I wondered what they were doing there since my wife knew I'd be home late tonight. Oh well, the discussion should be interesting. I could hear them whispering to each other in the living room, so I stopped by the refrigerator and pulled out a beer. They had probably been here long enough, and my wife had certainly already taken care of bringing them drinks. Gathering my wits, I nonchalantly walked into the room. My wife was sitting on the couch between Ben and Jack. George sat in a deep armchair next to the couch. Nodding a greeting to them, I walked over and sat in the other deep chair across from the couch. "Dinner?" I asked carelessly. They stared at each other for a moment, before Gloria seemed to gather her courage to give me some bad news. Finally, she seemed to make up her mind and began to speak. "I'm sorry about this, Dave, but we need to discuss this openly. It's killing me to have to keep it a secret from you, and the guys are also getting a little frustrated with the time I can give them. I want you to know that I love you very much, and I want us to have kids and grow old together. I want us to eventually retire, travel like we always planned, and spoil any future grandchildren we may have someday. I realize it will affect us a bit, but we can remain husband and wife. The thing is, I have been making love to Ben, George, and Jack for the past year, sometimes individually, but mostly with 2 or even all 3 at once." She paused to gauge my reaction. I just remained silent and took a sip of my beer. "So, the thing is, sometimes one of them would take you somewhere to distract you while the other 2 would come and make love to me. Your companion could always let us know when you were approaching the house. This gave us time to get cleaned up and the guys time to leave before you got there. Unfortunately, we couldn't do it in a way that you wouldn't get suspicious. I decided it was time for me to say something, and this seemed like the most appropriate moment. Well, Gloria, I can't say that I'm really happy to find out that you're cheating on me with 3 of my friends. I also can't say I'm happy that 3 of my best friends stabbed me in the back like that. Is that your way of telling me you want a divorce?" "Oh no, honey. I want to have kids and grow old together. I don't want a divorce, and if you try to do that, I'll fight it and give you the purge. What I want is for you to accept that, so we can move forward. We will still make love and behave as befits a married couple. In a few months, I'll be off the pill and we can work on having our first child. Everything will be business as usual, except that a few times a week guys will come over and make love to me. Maybe you can even join us once in a while." I decided to splash some cold water. I looked at my 3 former friends and asked a question. "Well, how do your wives feel about it?" Ben answered. "I thought so. After all, he is a lawyer." "Our wives don't know anything about it, and we're damn sure they won't. I swear, if you say one word about this, I will destroy you." I think I've done a damn good job holding back my smirk. "Don't worry about it. They won't hear a word from me." "Good," Ben continued. "It's best they don't know that." He glanced at Gloria. She nodded her head for him to continue. "Okay, so here's how it's going to be from now on." Gloria found that she really enjoyed making love to more than one man at a time. You just can't satisfy her anymore. So, a few times a week, the boys and I will come over to Gloria's house until we're satisfied. Then we'll clean up so our wives don't suspect a thing. Once we're done, we'll leave, and you 2 can go back to being the happily married couple that you are. We don't care if you stay here or go somewhere else at this time. If you stay here, we might let you join us from time to time. As for your lovemaking with your wife, you can do that any day we're gone. Heck, we'll even let you make love to her after we're gone if she's ready for it. Well, since obviously I don't have much of a choice unless I want to live in a cardboard box by the river, I have a couple small requests. I figure since you're using my wife, it's the least you can do for me." Ben smiled triumphantly. He was willing to be magnanimous in his victory. "Sure, Dave, the important thing is that the requests aren't too many." No, I assured him. "Just a couple of little things that I'm sure won't require any effort on your part. First, I don't want you to use my bed. The bed in the guest room is big enough. I need to sleep in that bed, and I think there's enough disrespect for me as it is." "I think we can agree to disagree on that. We usually do it on the living room floor anyway, but we can use the guest bedroom if necessary. Your bedroom and bathroom will be off limits." "Thank you. Secondly, I want to be notified of your comings and goings. I have no intention of staying here while you make love. I want to be able to plan my absence before you show up, and I need to know when I can come home." "And that's possible. Is there anything else?" "No, that's it." "Good. Now, since we're all here, we don't want to miss this opportunity. We can give you half an hour to pack up and go. I think you're going to have to get a motel room for the night. Our wives think we went night fishing on Jack's boat and don't expect us home until tomorrow morning at the earliest." Ben grinned. "Good. I'll get myself together now and make a phone call, after which I'll be out of your hair." I got up and headed for my bedroom. Their conversation could be heard in the bedroom. "That went a lot better than I expected," Ben grinned. "Yeah," George added. "I expected it to blow up." They laughed a little and made a few derogatory remarks about my manhood. Back in the room, I pulled out my cell phone and made a call. "Yes, Mary. Yes, they said they would be here all night. I thought about your house, but Ben suggested a motel room." I listened to the answer. "High end? That's fine. I'm thinking presidential suite. Call Evie and Joan and have them meet us there." Heard back. "Yeah, I think I'm ready. Oh, you know. Gloria said she's giving up the pill and wants to get pregnant." I laughed at her answer. "That's wonderfully wicked. I love it. Do you think Evie and Joan would go for it too?" I couldn't hold back an explosion of laughter. "Have you three thought about it?" "Oh, good. All right. I'll see you ladies soon. I'm just on my way out." As I turned around, I saw 4 stunned faces looking at me. "Dave, who were you talking to and what was all that about?" Gloria asked. "Uh-oh. That was Mary, Ben's wife. She's going to book the presidential suite for the night. We're meeting Evie, George's wife, and Joan, Jack's wife, there. Since their husbands have gone night fishing and won't be back until morning, we have the whole night to blow our brains out." Ben shouted with indignation. "I told you what would happen if you told our wives about this." They didn't hear anything from me, on the contrary. They're the ones who told me. It's true. 6 months ago, your 3 wives came to my office and told me that you 3 have been making love to my wife for 6 months. They offered to make love to me whenever you guys would have a threesome with Gloria. So for the last 6 months, while you were sleeping with my wife, I made love to your wives." "Gloria, did you really think I was working when I came home late? Did you ever wonder why I'm so exhausted when I get home? Tonight you 3 will be here making love with Gloria, and I will be in the presidential suite sleeping with your wives." I looked at Gloria. "Believe me, I understand your fascination with more than one man at a time." I looked at my former friends. "You didn't know your wives were so attractive, did you? They started sleeping with me when they found out about your deception. Eventually, they decided that I should know which cheating wife I had married. They came to my office to inform me and involve me in their games. Don't bother trying to divorce or punish them. There are plenty of pictures and videos in the private investigator's report. They will tear you apart in divorces. Gloria, I'm not worried about you divorcing me. You'll get next to nothing. Plus, I'll just move in with your lover's ex-wives. They seem to really like me." I stared at their stunned faces for a minute. "By the way, we have one more agreement to make. Let's agree not to do DNA testing on any of the future children. You all might not like the results. Anyway, it's time to hit the road." I have 3 insatiable women to take care of. You all have a good night." With those words, I turned and walked out the door. On the way out, I wondered if there would be any repercussions from tonight's revelations. I mentally shrugged. Ben was rich, and Mary had the foresight to have already paid the fee to the meanest, nastiest shark of divorce lawyers. We'd be fine. The end.